Okay, well, I'll do my extreme unit or my.
But I can jump into what I read.
But I'm way past what you've read.
It's true.
So you reading
no,
more
I mean,
of the
it's
image
cool.
stuff?
He's trying to do the whole extreme universe.
It's gonna be like 400 issues.
I put all mine away, damn it.
The best part is my copy of Youngblood #0. It has no staples in it.
Was that too expensive?
I guess so. Like,
why'd you take the staple out of your comic, dude? That's not.
I didn't take them out. This is how I opened the book. This is what it was like.
Before.
I picked up extra copies of places, so this may be like.
This is not your original.
This may not be my original. So yeah, it's like.
Well, this way you can hang them on the wall.
Right. Do you need a stapler? I can find one.
No, I think it's kind of cool not to have staples. It gets kind of hard when you're reading though, and you've got like splash page, and you know.
Yeah, I get it,
but it's cool.
Not cool.
So
actually,
so Youngblood #0. We actually go.
What
back.
number is this of your reading order?
I don't know. I need my phone.
It's fine. I can pull it.
Okay,
you're good.
Youngblood #0.
If you don't know the answer,
I don't know.
It's probably like issue number 27.
Issue 8. No, I'm not even that far. I'm only up to like 14 or 15.
Youngblood 0 is number 8.
8
on the reading list.
Bam. So this book has
It
come
just
out
seems
in
like
92, 93. So we flash back to 1988. So we're like 4 years prior.
1988.
Yes.
Wow.
And Iraq is
like
invading.
15.
It's very contemporary because Iraq is invading Kuwait.
What? Desert Storm?
Isn't so Iraq is invading
But
Kuwait.
in Youngblood 1, they killed Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, I know, but that was later. So
this is number 0.
Yeah. So at this point, Battlestone, who is the leader of Brigade, is leading Youngblood.
So this is before he broke off.
Right.
This is in Brigade #1, which I read. He's like, I remember when I used to be in Youngblood.
This tells the story of what happened. This tells the story of what happened and why he broke away from Youngblood.
Is it because he didn't want to get involved in the war?
Well, no, it's because they go over there, and he's got like a team with him, and they take over the beach, and then there's like these tunnels. And 2 of the guys are like, well, we want to burn scorched earth. Like, we don't want to leave whatever's in these tunnels for the enemy to come back and get. And Battlestone's like, no. They're like, you need to just leave that stuff alone. They booby trap those tunnels and stuff. And they're like, well, screw you. We're going to go down there anyway. And of course, they set off a booby trap and they both die. Well, then Battlestone's like, well, we're getting the hell out of here. Well, there's another guy. And he's like, you can't just leave those guys. We need to go get them. And so Battlestone's like, F you, and he punches him in the face. Well, he's a superhuman, and the other dude isn't, so he breaks his neck and kills him. Well, Chapel's part of the team, and he's like, that's not cool, dude. He's like, I'm putting you under arrest. And they fly back to America or whatever, and he goes has like a military tribunal thing or whatever, and they're like, yeah. They're like, we're not gonna, because you've given pretty good service to the United States, so we're not gonna like imprison you or kill you or anything.
And you're a superhuman to boot, so
right.
We probably shouldn't piss you off too much.
So we're just gonna say you can't be part of Youngblood anymore, and you have to disappear and just don't ever show up again. And so that's how he gets out of. That's how he does not. Why he's not part of Youngblood anymore. And then to tie it in, they flash to like whatever. Like 14 months later, and they're introducing Shaft as the new leader of Youngblood. So that's basically Youngblood 0. It's the backstory of Battlestone.
And I've read that at some point in time. I actually own that one.
Okay, so Brigade. So then we will go into Brigade 3.
Hell, it probably sold 1 million copies, didn't it?
Probably, I bet it did. So.
Brigade was probably one of those ones that you could only get like a special way, wasn't it? I don't even know.
0 now. No, the only one was the image
like
0.
Those zeros were like some weird promotional crap that they would pull.
Sometimes. Nah, yeah, not this one. So then we go on to Brigade 3, and Brigade, they've been transported to another planet, and they were like in an arena, and they were like fighting. Well, they escaped the arena. And
Planet
they
Hulk?
go, huh?
Planet Hulk?
Yeah, it's like Planet Hulk.
Woohoo!
It's like Planet Hulk 20 years before Planet Hulk. And so they escape and they go down into the sewers. They're running around in the sewers and they get intercepted by this other team, and they call them the Factor, and they've been sent after Brigade to capture them and bring them back to the leader of the planet, and back to the arena. They fight, they defeat Brigade, and then at the end of the issue, another group of like these 4 characters show up and they start to fight the Factor on behalf of Brigade, and that's where that one ends. So there's not much to it. There's a lot of them wandering around in the sewer, like they're wandering around in the sewer trying to find their way out. That was the bulk of that issue. Now Supreme #2 gets kind of interesting. So it starts out and Supreme, he's doing his Superman thing, like in the Matrix. He's hanging out over the planet, and he's just like, there's like a splash page where he just sees like the entire Image universe, and so like he sees like the Wildcats, he sees Spawn, he sees Savage Dragon, he sees Cyberforce, Wetworks is in there, so he's just kind of like surveying, and he's like, because he's from he's been gone for like 40-50 years, so this is all kind of new to him, so he's just kind of seeing what everything looks like now. So then he's like, I guess like when he left, he had like a super nemesis, which was kind of like a Lex Luthor type character, and so this guy's in prison, and so he goes to the prison and he's gonna kill this guy. Well, this guy tells him like everything he did after he left. Like he killed his girlfriend, who was a reporter, and then he takes out like it's supposed to be the photographer. Who's the photographer for David?
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. Like he runs over him with a truck, like kills him. And then there's like the Junior Supreme Squad, and so like he kills all those guys. And so he's like breaks into the prison and he's gonna like kill this guy. But there's this other group called Heavy Metal, and they break in and they stop him from doing that, and they tell him that their boss wants to chat with him. And so he's like, fine, I guess I'll go talk to your boss or whatever. And so this guy his name's Jason Temple, and he put together this superhero team called Heavy Metal. It's kind of like, I guess like in this universe, like there's Brigade, there's offshoots. So this guy's trying to like build his own Youngblood team, but like a private Youngblood team instead of like by the government or whatever. And so he's trying to talk Supreme into joining his team because he wants him on his team. And when I read the comic, it was kind of like Supreme's like, yeah, F you, I'm leaving, and he leaves. But then when we get to Supreme #3, he's like on call. Like I guess he joined up with them because like the team has a thing and they call Supreme and he shows up. But anyway, it wasn't made clear to me at the end of that book.
Pause when you're done with this issue.
Okay.
Are you done with this issue?
Pretty much. And then so basically he leaves, and then they do a flash to like a spaceship, and it's heading for Earth, and whoever the alien is on this ship is talking like, well, I've got to go find Supreme and talk to him too. So anyway, yes. Now
how much do you think he paid Brian Murray to draw this issue?
I don't
because it's not very good.
Yeah, and he's like,
and
I've never even heard of him.
Rob Liefeld inked pages, so
Yeah.
he had Brian Murray draw it, and then he inked over Brian Murray. Maybe he should put some. All right, okay, so this page.
He was really busy at this time, dude.
He was busy.
Rob Liefeld.
Oh, I'm talking about this page though.
Yeah.
Was he busy during this page?
I don't know.
Because okay, you got this guy's face, you got like this hand, you got these heads on the wall, right?
Right.
What's this little panel here? Is that like a nipple?
I think it is.
Is that a female or a male breast there?
I don't know. But yeah, I did see that. It is a nipple.
It's like, but it's like its own little panel. Like, what is that supposed to? What does that have to do with anything else on this page?
I have no idea.
Why is it just a random panel at the bottom of this page with a nipple?
I don't know. But the interesting thing.
See, Scott, there's like a at the bottom of the page there. You see that?
I do see that.
Like, what is that?
It looks like a nipple.
Right?
So the interesting
So the
thing.
dude's just drawing nipples and panels on his Supreme book? I mean, isn't this like a Superman thing?
I don't know, Liefeld or Mickey inked it, so they saw it.
I don't get it.
What was I going to say? Oh, one of the other things is, so this is kind of like,
I thought we were done with this one. You said,
well, this is a general theme with like all of these books. And I think it was probably carried over into a lot of Image books, but
nipples?
No, not nipples. The violence, the blood. There's a lot of it. It's almost like I wanted to compare it to like when they finally got rid of the code, or they did the Max series at Marvel.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, we can use the F word.
Yeah.
It's like every other word of dialogue was like F this, F that, S this. They're like, oh my God, we can cuss in a comic book. We're just going to. And it was like blatantly obvious. Like when you read it, you're just like, oh my God, it's like I'm in third grade.
It wasn't needed. They just
it's like I'm in third grade at the playground again. I just learned how to say shit or whatever, you know. But I think there's a lot of it, and they're just like, well, we can put as much blood on the paper as we want, you know, we can make it as violent as we want. And so, I mean, it is a running theme through a lot of this stuff. It does get, I mean, for a comic book in the 90s, I mean, you didn't see that. Like, and a lot of it, I think, was like when they.
Hey, I'm not having a problem with the nipple. I'm just saying I don't know what it has to do with that page.
Yeah, no,
like it's completely out of place.
I understand, and I did see that, and I think it might. I don't know. Like I think it
because it's like its own panel.
Right. Well,
I don't see how it relates to any of these other.
I think
panels.
it goes into this panel. And
no, there's a divider right there.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I can't answer your question.
Can we get Brian Murray on the podcast? I have a question.
Maybe. I don't even know where he is anymore.
I don't either.
So then
he never did anything else, did he?
I don't think so. So then the next issue that falls onto the publishing. So this is like the order.
Yeah, how is that part of the Extreme Universe?
I think it's only because it has a Rob Liefeld story in it. So,
but it's Bloodwolf. He's not part of the Extreme Universe. Does he ever show up at another time?
I don't know, but he does have a series, and it's under Maximum Press.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the Youngblood universe.
So the weird thing is, I don't know that I ever read Darker Image because I had to pull this baby out of the bag.
You never read it?
I don't know.
It's got the first Max story.
Yeah, I know.
The Max.
It does.
I know.
It's
the first Death Post story.
I had to unseal the bag, dude. So
I even had that one.
This is an anthology book. It was supposed to go more than one issues apparently, but I think only.
Did you say Bloodshot was in there?
First appearance?
No, Blood Wolf Max, not Bloodshot.
Deathblow.
Deathblow is it? Because I always confuse Deathblow and Bloodshot. And,
yeah, they kind of were around the same time, but yeah, they're totally different. Sorry.
Yes, they're different characters, but both of them have this big freaking red circle in their damn chest or something in some cases.
But Deathblow doesn't technically have that.
Yeah.
He does, and they drew it on him at different points, if I remember right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would have swore I had a copy of Deathblow somewhere where he had a big red circle on his chest. Probably when he was.
I don't think he ever did. I don't know. But he might have.
Okay.
I didn't read every Deathblow comic.
So this is
I can't say I did either, but
a lot of the Deathblow was black and white, and Bloodshot was always like white colored, so it they had very similar aesthetics, even without the red circle.
I have the Deathblow card. This came back.
Ooh.
So anyway, yeah, it has a short story of the Max, and then it has Blood Wolf. Is it Blood Wolf?
I think
it's Rob Liefeld's take on Lobo, basically. It's a Lobo ripoff.
Yeah, it's a Lobo ripoff.
And then Deathblow. It's got a Deathblow story.
Does he have anything original?
Lobo
ripoff. Deadpool. Bloodstrike.
So then the next issue is Supreme number 3. So it opens up in a boardroom with Jason Temple, who is the leader he's the guy that organized the heavy metal team. So one of the team members' name is Riot. He tells him that he's got to go to the tailor to get a new costume because his costume's out of date. So he leaves with another guy, and they go off to get a new costume. And then
serious question.
Yeah.
For your notes, do you write them as you read the book, or do you write them after?
I write them after.
Because I don't know if as I'm reading, sometimes my brain just goes.
Sometimes I have to go back.
You have to go back.
Flip the book
I
just
bet
to
so.
get like the names right and stuff.
Because I read like the Youngblood 1, 2, and Brigade, and it's like there's so many characters that are also.
I know.
And they're also same-ish. Like none of them have a distinctive personality
I
for
know,
the most
dude.
part.
I would
It's like
well,
so
you
many
hit the nail on the
characters.
head right there. Personality is like secondary in almost all these.
I mean, it's almost like he's trying to give each character a little bit of a personality, but he doesn't give it enough development to really establish it.
I would
Right.
agree.
I mean, if you read Youngblood,
and so many of them fall in certain stereotypes and whatever the hell else, and they're nothing original.
Youngblood #1 was a flip book, and it had 2 teams. There were probably 12 to 14 characters that were introduced in Youngblood #1 that were all new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Brigade, you brought another, 6 characters in.
Yeah.
And like I read Brigade 1, and like there's a team member that isn't even established like until halfway through the book. I'm like, oh yeah, we have this other person over here, and this is her powers. It's like, but they're on a mission now. And it's like, well, we didn't bother mentioning her in the first, 6 establishing pages or whatever.
Right. No. So anyway, there's another character. His name is Skybreaker.
Of course it is.
He has a spaceship, so he goes up to the spaceship, and he's like asking about information about Supreme, and the computer's like, well, it's going to take 12 hours to compile all that data. And he's like, okay, well, do that for me then. So then the main bulk of the story, it's all set up, I guess, or whatever. So the main bulk of the story is that there's like this, it's like a peace conference or something, like at the UN type of thing, where there's all these delegates from all over the world that are flying into, I think it's JFK, or no, what's the one in DC? Anyway, they're all flying into the airport, and so these terrorists decide, hey, this would be a great time to like kidnap all these world leaders and then hold them for ransom. So that's what they do. And so then that's when I was talking about in the other one. So Jason the guy that's running it, Metal, he finds out about it. He's, oh crap, this is our chance. He's like, we gotta get there before Youngblood does, and we can make a name for ourselves. So he rounds up all his guys, and they send him to the airport, and they get a hold of Supreme, and Supreme shows up. But Bloodstrike is there, so they're introducing Bloodstrike in this issue, and they're like talking to the press, and they're like, and then Supreme shows up, and he's like, what are all these dudes doing? He's like, let's just go get them. And they're like, well, they're going to kill the hostages. And Supreme's like, I don't care. He just flies in, and he gets, like, he's just smashing heads, knocking people out, just killing people. And that's pretty much that issue. He, like,
what's the name of this other team?
Which other team?
The one you're just
Heavy Metal?
Heavy Metal?
Yeah. It's Heavy Metal, but it's
I know,
METTLE.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal.
So, like, Brigade was all like, they were showing up at a hostage situation in their first issue. And they were, like, waiting for Youngblood to show up, but Youngblood didn't show up. And so, is that, like, every issue? Like, there's a hostage situation, they're waiting for Youngblood, but then another team shows up?
Not everyone.
Are you sure?
Well,
is that the story in every issue?
No.
It sounds.
Did he introduce a new
close.
team? Because you said they had Heavy Metal, they're waiting for Youngblood, then Brigade, and then Bloodstrike. So
yeah, I know. It's like superheroes everywhere, dude.
do all the teams? How many of the teams start with B? I guess you said Brigade and Bloodstrike.
Well, that's the thing. Like you were talking about, Blood was very heavy. Like, of course, Rob Liefeld's like, I did Youngblood, and then everybody. Then it was Bloodshot, and then it was Blood this and Blood that. And Marvel did like a whole Blood tie-in thing for like their
Blood Feud
annuals and stuff. And he's like, the whole 90s was Blood everything.
It was a bloodbath, man.
Yeah.
And Faust was coming out. It was crazy.
So Brigade #4 is a flip book
for Youngblood
that also
5.
has Youngblood #5.
Well, that's 2 for 1, dude.
Right, I know.
Winning.
So
I mean, as a comic fan, you're like, wow, I got both.
Except when they
Each one's
did
only
it,
like 5 pages.
except they did it just like they did when
yeah,
we
so
were
you
talking
bought
about
both
the
of them.
thing. So
you thought
they had Brigade #4 sitting here, and then they had Youngblood #5 sitting
so you
here.
pick up
And you're
both.
like, oh, I need Brigade #4 and I need Youngblood #5. So you pick them both up, and then you get home and you're like, holy crap, this is
It's
the same comic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
why did
They
the price
pulled
go
that
up 50
shit
cents? Because he had to pay his guys so damn much?
I don't know.
And they had to
yes.
all buy Camaros?
Okay, dude,
and
so therefore, so the team that showed up at the end of number 3, they're called the Birds of Prey. And
I'll be back.
right, so we have another team.
Was there
of
a
like
black
4 members.
canary in there?
No, but they're all bird.
Oh,
They're all birdish
He did do
type
Hawk and
people.
Dove. I don't need to see it.
There you
It's good.
go.
Just keep going.
But they,
Scott already left.
I know Scott doesn't
blank
care.
screen.
Scott's checked out. So they find out that they're on a planet called Devor, D''VOR, and the Devorians, they go around and they capture people from different races and planets, and they bring them to their planet, and they put them in an arena, and they either keep them as slaves or they use them to fight.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Right.
It's like Planet Hulk.
Exactly. That's what Scott said. He's
Planet
like, this
Hulk
is like
story.
Planet Hulk. And I'm like, yeah, this is Planet Hulk.
Why did Scott say that?
20 years.
Was I not paying attention?
Yeah, I think you were gone.
Oh, okay. Were you already talking about this?
I was.
Why are you talking about it again?
No. I was talking about issue 3 because I told him they escaped from the arena on a planet where they were in an arena and had to fight. And he's like, that's like Planet Hulk. So Genocide, who is the character that showed up at the end of number 1 and actually captured Brigade and brought them to this planet, he wants to battle Battlestone one-on-one. Like, that's all he wants to do. And so they get him and they fight, and the rest of Brigade and the Birds of Prey join. So now Atlas, who is the character that can grow really big like Giant Man.
Yeah, I remember him from one of the
Right.
Brigade, yeah.
He gets killed.
Apparently he gets dumber as he gets bigger. Is that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
But he gets killed. So somebody takes a shot at one of the character at Battlestone, and he jumps in front of Battlestone. He's like, no, save Battlestone. And he gets shot and he dies.
Thank God. That's from the Star Trek.
Right. So then everything calms down somehow. I don't remember because I didn't write it down, but they get a ride home in a spaceship. So Brigade is off the planet now. They're at home, and the Pentagon, they have a splash to the Pentagon, and they're like, Brigade's been gone for 3 months. If they reappear, we need to send our team Bloodstrike after them and take care of them. So they're slowly introducing Bloodstrike. So Youngblood number 5 is a flip book, and we go back to Youngblood and the Berserkers are fighting Darkthorn and Bedrock, who Bedrock had been taken over by Darkthorn, and so had Diehard at the end of issue 4. So of course Darkthorn has them on the ropes, and then Vogue and Riptide. So Sci-Fire, they've kind of put him in, because Sci-Fire is like the powerful guy, and he's like the loose cannon, and so they kind of got him like handcuffed and taking him away. Well, he talks to him, and he's like, I'm the only dude that can take out Darkthorn. You need to let me free so I can take out Darkthorn. And they're like, okay, fine. And so he fights Darkthorn. And then, of course, Darkthorn's like got him on the ropes, and he's like, they've got Darkthorn on the ropes. And he's like, I'm not going to finish you up now, so I'm going to leave, and I'll come back and do it later. And so he leaves. And then Kirby, the character Kirby, he decides that he's going to stay on Earth.
Named after Jack Kirby?
Yes. And he's got a cigar, and he's like bare-chested, muscled up, or whatever. So, yes, it is a tribute to...
This is the Rob Liefeld universe, so everybody would be that way.
Right. He decides that he's going to stay, and he's going to help out Prophet. And so then the Berserkers, they go, okay, we'll see you later, and they leave, and they go back to wherever they come from.
Yeah, so I was reading Youngblood 2, I think it was, where they introduced Prophet. And so it starts out with like that team with Kirby, right? What are they called? The Berserkers, you said?
Yes.
And then they're like
Z. Berserkers with a Z.
And they're like come after some people called like the Disciples.
The Disciples. Yeah.
And then Youngblood comes in there with Prophet. I'm like, dude, it's issue 2. I got 2 Youngblood teams. Now I got a team of the Berserkers. I got this team of bad guys called the Disciples. And I'm like 40 pages in, and there's like no character development. I don't know who the hell these people are.
He is building a universe.
Oh, he's building
and
something.
no wonder sales kind of went.
So then next is Youngblood Strike File number 1, which is also a flip book. So we've got Chapel Story drawn by what's his face?
Chep Yep?
No,
Jay
that's
Lee.
Jay Lee, which is really friggin' awesome. And then we've got a Die Hard story, which is drawn by
Chep
Rob
Yep.
Liefeld, I believe.
That dude can't draw no books. No.
So,
yeah, it is. Wow.
haha.
Andy Mickey did the inks. He printed all over.
So Chapel,
I did want to ask a question about this Youngblood 5 real quick.
Yes, sir.
So I'm flipping, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what you do on a flip book. You flip it.
So I'm reading the book. I'm sorry, it's a Brigade side.
Yep.
So Atlas jumps in front, gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
Got this big scene. All of a sudden, there's a cover of Brigade 0 in there.
Right.
But it doesn't really look like an advertisement like Brigade Zero's coming out. It's just like Brigade 0 cover. I'm like, is this Brigade 0? Is this like a triple book like Brigade 4? You got Brigade, but no, but then the next page looks like it continues the previous story. So it's not Brigade 0. But
no, it's an ad for Brigade 0.
That's a really weird place for an ad, and it doesn't even look like an ad. It looks like an actual cover to the comic.
It is.
Like sometimes they'll add some like words to say coming soon or get this book, you know.
That thing was dripping with ink when they got it to the printer. I mean,
that is the worst ad ever that you can't even be for sure if it's an ad.
So the Youngblood strike file is...
Where do you file this in your thing? Do you file it under Brigade or under Youngblood?
I have one under Brigade and one under Youngblood.
Of course you have 2 copies.
Well, I told you I had to buy 2 because they set them up.
Of course you did.
I probably have more than 2, to be honest with you. Pretty sad. So these are like flashback stories. So Chapel, Al Simmons, who later becomes Spawn, is not Spawn yet.
So Rob Liefeld drew this, right?
And Duke.
All right, see that, Scott, how his like face mask is like droopy?
I love that.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty cool, except until you get to the next page, and it's totally not droopy at all.
But it gets droopy later. It goes back to droopy.
That's not very consistent.
No, it's not. So Chapel, Al Simmons.
Is it like a difference of timelines or anything?
No, it's like the next page. They're in the same battle, it looks like.
Yeah, it's an old story, too. It goes back to the beginning, to back when Supreme was on the planet. And, well, they were in World War II because they're fighting Nazis.
Did he not have an eraser? He drew a droopy.
See that? He did.
Oh, look, another ad for Brigade 0.
That's like a Cobra Commander hood right there.
Why is it half the heck?
I don't know. So Chapel, Al Simmons, and a character named Duke are on a mission for Jason Wynn. And this was 6 years ago. They infiltrate the company.
That name sounds familiar.
That's Spawn.
He knows he's just.
I know.
So they infiltrate a company called Cybernet, which I think I've heard that before somewhere.
Cybernet.
Yeah, and they fight a guy
from the Terminator.
They fight a guy named Geiger. Duke gets killed in the battle.
From G.I. Joe?
I guess. I don't know. Cool. I don't remember. No, I think he's part of.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. And when. So he gets killed, and then when he goes, oh, he was a traitor anyway. Then they fast forward to 5 years. Chapel's now with Youngblood. Simmons is dead. Chapel meets Wen. And Wen's trying to get him to work for him again. And Chapel's like, he turns him down. He's like, dude, I got Youngblood now, and you are like batshit crazy dude, so I'm not going to work for you. So then after he leaves, Wen makes a call to Geiger. And then the flip book is it's Golden Age type thing. So it has Supreme, no, Die Hard, Glory, and a character named Super Patriot. And this is like in the 40s because they're fighting Nazis in like World War II.
Die Hard not age?
Die Hard is a robot. He's like so they come out with different models of him. So this is like the original.
And Glory is like Wonder Woman, immortal, right?
Right.
That's right. Now that you say that, that sounds familiar. Golly, boy, that's a long time ago.
So Super Patriot.
That takes me back.
Right. So Super Patriot, I think, is the character that Eric Larson has, the Super Patriot guy, because I think he's the original, and then I think he gets experimented on or something, and he turns into like the half cyborg, half thing that's Super Patriot, I think. So anyway, they're fighting the Nazis. Then they flash forward to now, and Glory and now she's older. She's got like, well, she might have had the silver hair and that, but anyway, she's got like the gray silver hair. Anyway, she's in a meeting with Shaft and Die Hard about, here we go, about how Super Patriot was attacked and left for dead in Chicago in a Savage Dragon comic book.
Oh, wow.
He was kidnapped by Cybernet and turned into Super Patriot, who is a cyborg. So he's tying in to that.
Yeah, that's exciting comics. Just some people sitting at a desk talking to somebody.
Right, I know, right?
Page full
It's
of
drawn
words.
really well, though.
Thanks for.
That's like, what's his name?
Hey, there's a special glory pinup.
Yes. That's like, what's his name? Bendis. That's Bendis before Bendis. That's the Avengers is sitting around for 30 issues talking.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So then I picked up Youngblood Battlezone, which is lame because all it is like, hey, here's Youngblood's car. Hey, here's Shaft's bow.
You know what's really lame?
Hey, here's their hideout.
I don't even know what the book is called because
I know.
the battle zone is obscured behind the artwork, so I don't even know what the title is.
I
I was
would
like, what is
agree.
it? Youngblood Battle Talion? Battle what?
Battle-
Yeah,
I don't
it's
even
terrible.
know.
I really want
Hell,
my
I just thought
$2.
it was another issue of Youngblood.
Yeah, you can barely tell there's something.
I want my $2 back from that issue. Seriously.
At least it was only $1.95, dude.
I know. I want the $2 back. So
What the hell? Didn't we already have a discussion about this one? Rub the blood.
Yeah, this is the Rub the Blood.
Thin.
So
Hey,
this,
did Doom's Forever come out? I
It
heard
did.
Steven Spielberg was working on a movie to do with that.
it was like a 4-issue series.
Wow. Steven Spielberg get a credit?
I don't know. So now the last issue that I read this time is Bloodstrike #1, which is Rub the Blood. This book it's really bloody because it's called Bloodstrike. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of
It's got
violence
Shaft's
in
bow
this.
in here.
I know. I told you. If you ever want to know, it's got
Chuckles Hypercycle.
right. All right. So Bloodstrike #1. They get a call to investigate a gate facility. It's considered, so we get more characters. So now we have Cabot, who's the leader. We have Tag, we have Forearm, we have Deadlock, and we have Shogun, who's a big giant Shogun warrior robot type thing.
Shogun Super.
I don't know. So Cabot and Tag, they encounter a character called Commander Corbin, and they find out that he's a hologram. So they fight, and he's like, I can't see me. I'm a hologram. I'm not really there. Cabot gets shot. They make references to the team members on this team all being dead and brought back to life.
So that'd be less shiny without the bad.
Because that's the point of Bloodstrike is they've all been killed, or they can be killed, and then they just reanimate them or put them in another clone body. There's something going on. I don't remember exactly.
Man, it
what
almost
it is.
sounds like the Marauders and Mr. Sinister, where
I
you
know.
like clones them when they
I
come
know.
back. I don't know where you got that.
So then we find out that the character
Bingo.
Corbin actually hired them to infiltrate the gate facility because his superiors thought that he wasn't doing a very good job. So he hired Bloodstrike to come in so he could defeat them and make his job look like he's doing a good job. But that didn't work really well for him because they shoot the shit out of him.
I saw that. That's
Yeah.
cool. Man. Where
They shoot the
blood.
crap out of him. And then at the very end, they get a call and they are called in to take out Brigade because Brigade has popped back up. And as I mentioned in the last one or one before that, they said, hey, if Brigade shows back up, it's sick Bloodstrike on him. So
Man, it all ties together.
it all ties together.
It's like they're sitting in that studio just
Jamming,
these ideas around.
jamming. So that's
Inking pages for $2,000 a week.
That's right. That's my Extreme Universe recap.
Wow.